Imagine two men born same year, same city. Both are smart, hardworking, and ambitious. One becomes a billionaire before 30. Another struggles his entire working life. Same country, same generation, different outcomes. So what made the real difference here? Was it only talent? Only their discipline? Was something else secretly at play? Most people give credit only to effort, but that is only half the story. The other half is uncomfortable to admit, because it means we are not fully in control. Today we talk about two invisible forces. Forces that shape life every single day. Luck and risk. The hidden game changers. Morgan Housel wrote The Psychology of Money. Chapter 2 is titled Luck and Risk. It is one of the most powerful chapters because it challenges how we judge success and how we understand our own failures. We live in a world obsessed with effort. Work hard and you will definitely succeed. That is the story we all believe. But Housel says, that belief is incomplete. Success has more ingredients than just effort, and failure has more reasons than bad decisions. Understanding this changes how you see everything, from your career to your finances to life. So let us dive deep into this idea. Prepare yourself. This will shift your thinking. First, let us define what luck really means. Luck is when a positive outcome occurs, without you planning or causing it directly. It is the universe giving you an advantage that others simply did not receive at all. Being born in a wealthy family is luck. Having access to education early is luck. Meeting the right person at right time, luck. None of these came from your decisions. They were given to you without your choosing. Now think about where you were born. Were you born in a developing country or in a rich, opportunity-filled nation? Studies show that birthplace determines 50%. Yes, 50% of your lifetime income. Not effort, not intelligence, not ambition, just the geography of your birth alone. That is an enormous amount of invisible luck, and most successful people never acknowledge this. Now let us understand what risk actually means. Risk is when a negative outcome suddenly happens, even when you made a reasonable decision. Risk is not just about taking bad gambles. Risk hides in every normal decision you make. Starting a business is a risk every day. Investing money is a risk every moment. Even choosing a career has hidden risks. You can do everything right and still lose. That is the uncomfortable truth about risk. Let me give you a surprising fact now. Most startup founders work extremely hard daily. They are passionate, intelligent, and fully committed. Yet over 90% of startups still fail. Not because founders were lazy or foolish, but because risk showed up uninvited anyway. Wrong timing, economic shifts, unexpected competition, things completely outside the founder's control. This is risk acting silently in background. Now let us talk about Bill Gates directly. Most people know him as a genius coder, a visionary who built Microsoft from nothing. And yes, that part is absolutely true. Bill Gates is brilliant and deeply driven. But Morgan Housel asks a deeper question here. What if Gates never had that early access? Let us go back to the year 1968. Bill Gates is just 13 years old then. He attends Lakeside School in Seattle, Washington. Now here is where the luck enters. Lakeside School had a computer terminal in 1968. 1968, that was almost unheard of globally. Only a handful of universities had computers then, and this was a high school. Extraordinary luck. School parents raised $3,000 just to get that one computer terminal installed. Young Bill Gates sat down and started coding. He practiced for thousands and thousands of hours. By the time he turned 18, he was elite. He had a decade head start over most people. That head start came partly from lucky circumstance. Now here is the important question to ask. How many other brilliant kids existed then? How many were as smart or even smarter? Probably millions across America and the entire world, but they did not have that computer access. They never got those thousands of early hours. So, they never reached where Bill Gates reached. Talent was not the only difference here. Luck of access shaped the entire trajectory. This is what Housel wants us to understand. Now here comes the most powerful contrast. Bill Gates had a best friend at Lakeside. His name was Kent Evans. By all accounts, Kent was remarkable. Teachers said he was one of the brightest. He shared Bill's obsession with computers. He had the same access and same school, same opportunities, same social circle, same passion. Bill and Kent were planning big things together. Gates himself said Kent could have been his partner. Maybe at Microsoft. Maybe building something else. Potential was equal, perhaps even greater. But in the spring of 1968, tragedy struck. Kent Evans died in a mountain climbing accident. He was young, full of dreams and potential. Just like that, his story ended, not because of bad choices or laziness, not because he was less talented or focused, simply because risk showed up without warning. The mountain did not care about his talent. The universe does not always reward potential, and that is the raw truth about risk. Same starting conditions, completely opposite outcomes. One became one of history's richest men, another never even got the chance to try. This is not just a sad story about death. This is a lesson about invisible forces in life. Luck gave Bill an amazing platform early on. Risk took Kent away before he could shine. Neither outcome was fully deserved or earned. Both were shaped by things outside their control. You might be thinking, okay, what about me? These are famous people in a different world. How does luck and risk affect my daily life? Let me bring this closer to your reality. Think about two students preparing for exams. Both studied equally hard for many months. Both covered similar topics and practiced questions. On exam day, one gets a favorable paper, familiar topics, structured questions, clear language. The other student faces an unusual paper, unexpected topics, tricky wording, confusing patterns. Their scores will look very different at end. Effort and preparation were almost identical. The difference? Luck in paper selection that day. Now think about two young professionals in jobs. Both joined companies with equal skill sets. Both worked hard and performed their duties well. But one joined a company during boom years. Fast promotions, salary hikes, excellent exposure. Another joined same industry during recession period. Layoffs, salary cuts, fewer growth opportunities available. 10 years later, their careers look completely different, yet the decisions they made were equally smart. Timing, which is often luck, made the gap. Let us talk about investment markets briefly. Two people invest in the stock market today. Same strategy, same research, same risk appetite. One invests just before a major market rally. Their portfolio doubles within just 2 years. Another invests just before a market crash happens. Their portfolio falls by 50% instead. Who was smarter? Who made better decisions here? Honestly, they were almost equally smart. The difference was timing. Timing is often luck. Here is a dangerous thinking pattern to know about. It is called survivorship bias. Remember this term. We only see people who succeed and survive. We never see the thousands who tried equally hard and failed despite putting in same efforts. Imagine 10 people start identical businesses together. Same product, same market, same starting capital. One person gets lucky. Their business explodes. They get media coverage, interviews, TED talks. They write books about their unique strategy. They become role models for entire generations. But what about the other 9 people? They had same strategy, same effort, same passion. We never hear their names or their stories. They are invisible, the silent majority of failure. So, when we read about that one success, we think, ah, that is the winning formula. Try to copy exactly what they did, but we forget they had luck on their side, and we cannot copy someone else's luck. That is the survivorship bias trap in action. Warren Buffett once said something very important. He called himself the ovarian lottery winner. He was born with the right skills in the right time. His talent for capital allocation was extremely rare. But if he was born in Bangladesh in 1930, his talents would not have created that wealth. Even Buffett, the greatest investor ever, acknowledges luck. If he recognizes it, so should we in our lives. Here is where psychology makes things more complicated. Humans are wired to find patterns and reasons. We cannot accept that something happened by chance. Our brain desperately wants a clean, logical story. So when someone succeeds, we create a narrative. He succeeded because he was disciplined and focused. She succeeded because she took bold, calculated risks. These stories feel satisfying and complete to us, but they often erase the role of luck entirely. And when someone fails, we do the opposite. He failed because he was lazy and unfocused. She failed because she made poor financial choices. Again, these explanations feel logical and complete. They often ignore the invisible role of risk. We judge outcomes without knowing the full story, and that leads to deeply unfair conclusions always. Think about a person who lost their job. You might silently judge they must have slacked off, but maybe their entire industry got disrupted suddenly. Maybe AI replaced their role without any warning. That is risk, not laziness, creating their situation. Understanding this builds empathy for others and yourself. So after all this, what do we actually do? Does acknowledging luck mean effort does not matter? Absolutely not. Effort is still deeply important. You must still work hard and stay disciplined, but combine effort with wisdom about uncertainty. Here are practical ways to use this understanding. First, build a financial margin of safety always. Risk will show up in your life. Guaranteed. Keep emergency funds. Avoid over-leveraging in investments. Never bet everything on a single outcome alone, because even your best plan faces invisible risks. Second, practice humility during your success periods. When things go right, Give some credit to luck. Do not become arrogant or overconfident quickly. Same luck that helped you can reverse. Humility keeps you grounded and mentally prepared. Third, show more compassion when others fail around you. Before judging, ask what risks they faced secretly. Maybe their failure was not entirely their fault. Life is not equally fair to every single person. This understanding builds better relationships and communities. Fourth, never blindly copy someone else's success formula. Understand their unique circumstances before you copy anything. Their luck cannot be replicated by your effort alone. Learn the principles behind success, not just actions. Let us bring everything together one final time. Luck and risk are the two sides of the same coin. You cannot have one without accepting the other. Luck helped Bill Gates become who he became. Risk ended Kent Evans before his story started. Both were equally talented and equally prepared, yet their stories could not be more different. That is reality. Complex, unpredictable, and humbling. Life is not perfectly fair, nor perfectly random. It lives somewhere between your control and chaos. The wise person understands both sides of this coin. They work hard, stay humble, and expect uncertainty. They build systems to survive when luck turns bad. They stay grateful when luck shows up well. This mindset is not weakness, it is wisdom. It is the foundation of sound financial thinking. In the next chapter, we explore never enough, why rich people keep wanting more and more, and how knowing enough can set you truly free.